Welcome to the Mega64
Podcast. And thanks I want to thank our sponsors, Mega64.com. Hey, we, through some loophole, sponsored ourselves. Buy a shirt, buy a DVD on our store, shop.mega64.com. We've got all the DVDs, they're in stock. All our shirts are there. And also thank you, and our other sponsor, Nokia, who lit up the phones when the power went out. And Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
I had a theory that Nokia paid the Super Bowl to make the power go out so that they could recreate that famous commercial where they all light the field with their Nokias. Yeah. They failed to realize nobody owns a Nokia anymore.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, who has a Nokia phone?
$20 million.
I've never seen a Nokia phone in years anyway.
How do you play Snake 2? Has that just gone away?
Oh yeah, what would happen?
Yeah. I think I did have a Nokia phone in high school.
I never had a Nokia. Never had a
Nokia. Questions.
I have someone who just got rid. You guys know him, Michael from Rich Teeth.
Yeah.
He just got rid of his LG chocolate that he's had for 7 or 8 years.
He just got an iPhone.
He went
right?
from that to an iPhone 5.
Wow.
That's a hell of a difference.
Yep.
Kevin, what did you have?
I had a Virgin Mobile Slice.
A Virgin Mobile Slice. For how long?
Is that 2007 phone?
Okay. Could be older, but it'll do.
And it wasn't even a flip or a clamshell. It was a brick.
Yeah. It was a brick about like candy bar.
Oh my gosh.
We know somebody who had an iPhone, and then when the newest iPad came out, they were like, dude, that's really cool. So they sold their iPhone, got that iPad, and went back to using their Razor.
Are you serious?
And was like, well, no, it's cool because I've got that iPad now. And it was like, but all right. Yeah, I don't know.
What's a phone?
Yeah, I don't know. But I think, what was your first phone that you had? Because I think mine was some kind of Nokia.
It was a Nokia.
Gigantic.
But I never used it until I got a Razor years later.
It was a gigantic 800 megahertz it was actually cellular. It wasn't digital.
Yeah.
It was some Motorola.
Oh, okay.
A big clamshell with a battery pack on it. The battery itself was probably 3/4 of an inch thick.
Wow.
I had a little flip LG phone. It must have been this big and silver.
Oh, wow.
They gave it to me when I worked at Qualcomm. It was the first cell phone I ever got. It was only tied to the cell phone tower on top of the Qualcomm building I worked in. Oh. So it only worked in
only there.
a 10-mile radius of Claremont Mesa. Yeah. But it was my work phone, and it was I'd never had a cell phone before. It was fucking gigantic.
Yeah, I had one, and I never used it, and I was always super anti-phone. I would always leave it in my car, if there's an emergency. But otherwise, no. And then it was only once we got deeper into doing Mega64 that I was like,
I remember when I met you.
I have to have one, and so I bought a Razor. Yeah.
When I met you, you had just gotten a Razor.
Yeah.
You were using
and then I got some really tiny Sony phone, and I swear it was that big. It was like Sony Ericsson.
There was a time when the phone got tiny.
Yeah, it was like you could lose it. It was so tiny, but it could browse the internet in a really limited capacity.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, there was one time we were looking for movie theater times. Do you remember this, Derek?
No.
We were out somewhere eating, and it was I wonder when this thing is on. And I was like, oh, I can look this up on my phone. Which that did not exist. Yeah. And so I went, oh, I can look it up on my phone. And Derek went, you can look websites up on your phone? That's dumb. and I went, yeah, I know. Information whenever you need it, completely convenient.
I do remember that was your response.
Yeah. And because I did that, and Sean was sitting there, and he started cracking up, just what was that argument? But I looked that up, and that was just whoa.
All the shitty,
until an iPhone, I think.
All the shitty little, they're mostly gone now, but the little cell phone stores that were some mafioso-esque dude in the back with all these, and a big sign on the window that said, buy unlocked phones here.
Yeah.
Right before the iPhone kind of hit the market, I was going and getting little Japanese phones from those guys that were unlocked. I had a tiny little LG one, and I had a little slider for a camera on the back. It was so thin and so tiny, but I kept having to get new ones because I would break them all the time. Keeping them in my pocket, and you lean against something, and it would crack the screen.
The smallest cell phone I ever saw was the size of a 50-cent piece.
Yeah.
My cousin had that, and he would flip it over.
Have you ever seen their watch? They have watch phones you can get on the internet and stuff.
How do you even dial anything on that? The numbers.
It's a little LCD screen.
It was just a tiny number pad.
So you'd have to use a toothpick to press or something?
It's just a tiny number pad.
You just blow on each key.
You just have
real
to
gentle.
push them in.
Just have little fingernails.
Yeah, because my Sony one, they were absolutely tiny too. They were grains of rice, but it was still it worked.
Yeah.
until I got the iPhone. I was like, I never need one of those things. And then I was in San Francisco and I was with somebody using it for an extended period of time, and I was like, okay, yeah.
It's funny now, in movies that they try to make futuristic, they make the cell phones look, instead of like tablets like they used to, because that's what we have now, they make them look like just clear pieces of like glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll ever happen?
I was about to say, do you think it'll actually happen?
I think that the real world emulates what we see in science fiction films.
That's what I was going to say.
Because we go, wow, that stuff in the Matrix and in Star Wars is so cool. We want to model our stuff after that cool stuff.
I think that will keep happening. Because I saw that in like Star Trek or something. Prometheus did it a ton.
Yeah.
Everybody just had a clear piece of plastic, and that was it. And I was like, I think this is the beginning of people thinking that way.
I don't even.
And then I saw it in a bunch of other stuff.
I don't think you'll even hold a phone. You'll just have like an earpiece or something.
Did you ever see that show
Or
called
necklace.
Shark Tank?
Yes.
It's where people come
Love
and
Shark
like
Tank.
pitch ideas for new
never heard
products
of
or like services. One guy came and he pitched the idea of a phone that you would get like surgically inserted inside your ear.
Yeah.
And you have to charge the battery by like sticking something into your ear and like holding it there.
No.
And the people who are on Shark Tank, like the big rich people, were just like, "Are you fucking crazy? People aren't going to want to do that."
That'll never. Yeah.
Give me a calculator. I'll take that. Calculate tips.
I think that they're doing a lot of research. What is that thing they're doing research into? Google Glasses or something? Like
Google goggles.
I think that'll be interesting.
Googles.
That's the gayest name ever. I'm sorry.
Why not just call it Googles?
Google goggles.
I know, right?
It sounds like you're a baby.
It just sounds like you're having trouble.
Google goggle.
Google goggle. Oh, yeah, Google goggle.
But
it's intuitive.
You're having a stroke right now.
I am.
They should just call it Google Face.
Google Face. Google Vision.
Google Face.
Google
Google
Gaga.
Vision.
That sounds like Wiggle Vision.
G Vision. G Spot.
G-Spot.
G-Spot, dude.
Yeah.
Soy jizz.
That's how much it'll cost. And
Jizz
what
Vision.
you will get if you have it.
Jizz Vision. Jizz Vision, what it'll be when you're wearing them in bed and all your friends are signed into your feed.
Yeah, exactly. I think you said signing onto your feet.
Signed into your feed.
Don't.